I'm Caleb.
No, you'll do.
I'm Caleb. It's Caleb. I'm Caleb. I'm Caleb.
And I'm Haley.
And you like that one. And I'm having coffee with my ex. Take it away.
You guys have no idea what we've been through. And by we,
Honestly,
I mean Caleb.
The podcast should just be the setup. You should just post like all the footage of us setting this up.
It's a mess.
I can't even describe it. All I can tell you is that we are finally here.
He was sitting up for an hour and a half.
It was like watching those like old timey like vaudeville movies where it's like stop motion. It's like and you see people running around acting like idiots. That's us.
Yeah.
Me. You sat there.
I sat here.
She was like, she was on time today, obviously, and she got ready and she was here by 9:00 in the morning. No.
10.
By 10.
Yeah.
Then she said, I got ready and I'm here ready to go to what? And I said, to do what? And she's just sitting there being like, well, I'm ready.
I'm here at least.
You don't do tripod setups.
Not my passion.
Light setups.
Not my passion. I can do the light. I can plug in. I can do those lights.
You can.
I can't do this. I can't do anything with the ring light, anything, the mics, anything with like arms and legs.
It's
not my passion.
Yeah. If you're going to set up a podcast, don't follow our lead.
No. It is a mess.
I'm functioning at like 10% today.
Same. Is it because you drank last night? Is that why?
It's that, and I'm in a 10% sleep debt. I
don't like you saying that.
I started tracking my sleep because you actually told me about it.
Yes.
When I
tell you everything great.
I had a sleep crisis, and there were like 2 days where I didn't go to sleep. Like the first day, I went to bed and I woke up, or I opened my eyes and the sun was coming up, and I freaked out, and so I was panicked the whole next day. Mm-hmm. And then the same thing happened the next night, and I was like, oh my God, this is gonna be forever. And that
would just like never be my first thought.
I remember Cameron was like, I was in bed with Cameron, like we were trying to go to sleep, and I woke him up and I was sobbing, and I said, Cameron, I want to be able to like get married and like have a house and a life, and now I'm gonna die from not sleeping. And I was convinced that was how I was gonna go.
I could not imagine being Cameron being like, what? Like, how do you handle that?
I called my doctor immediately. I said, Doc, I can't sleep.
I
got prescribed. It was bad. And the next day, I took a lavender bath. And that was the night you and Allison were over. I took a lavender bath and did a bunch of other things. And I still couldn't fall asleep.
Yeah.
Anyway, I slept now, except for last night. I've been sleeping until now.
Yeah. Well, we drank a lot yesterday.
I'm sweating.
Stop. You can hear that. You're having a day.
I'm having a day.
I didn't order my sweet green.
You better do that.
I have to do that. All right.
So anyway, Haley, I think this is a great time to segue into our topic for the day.
It's so annoying. Guys, we don't have a topic.
I had ideas yesterday. You know what I think is where I am right now? I'm just tapped out. I was on right before this podcast. I was on the toilet and I was scrolling through Twitter and I saw a New York Times article that says, new strain of the swine flu spreading rapidly in China. Officials fear there is another pandemic on the way. And I just flushed the toilet and I said, take me with you. I don't know what's happening. I feel like we're in a sick game where everyone has unlocked or put in every cheat code possible.
Yeah.
And it's on fire. It's like Grand Theft Auto, but in real life. And I am just the hooker on the street that keeps getting plowed down.
This podcast is going nowhere.
I have nothing to say.
This podcast is just Caleb's woes.
You know what grinds my gears? Facebook.
Yeah.
I feel like now I don't even know how to articulate it. I just can't not stand going on Facebook.
You have this, and I get it. Like, I get what you're saying. You have like an incredible disdain for Facebook that is unmatched by anyone I've ever met.
Well, and it's because everyone that I like actually know in real life, I have on Facebook. Yeah. And I just get so disappointed and angry every time I open it. I'm like, oh, that's what you think.
Yeah. I was better before I knew that's what you thought.
It's just not been good. I feel like now it's such a mix of, it's all negative. I feel like still online, like social media. I was scrolling through Instagram too, and I was like, this doesn't bring me joy. Nothing here is bringing me joy.
Yeah.
I mean, there was good information, but then like the selfies being posted again, and I was just like, none of this is making me happy. And then I go to Facebook, and I'm like, nothing here is making me happy.
Facebook makes me upset.
Does TikTok still make you happy?
TikTok is the only thing that makes me happy. Like anything in my actual life.
We watched TikTok for like 2 hours last night.
So I do this thing where I send Caleb like a curated like TikTok feed. So I'll send him everything in his inbox, and then we'll watch them together, and it's like the perfect curation for us to watch.
It's great. I specifically don't watch anything that you send me so that I can save it.
Yeah, because your For You page is not it. My For You page is mostly cats that you don't want to see.
No, so it's mine like is shirtless mix. Men.
Yeah.
With no underwear on.
Yeah.
Just flopping around. Yeah. And anyways, I don't like it.
I think that you do.
Well, I give it a heart. So that's probably why it keeps popping up. Because I feel bad. I'm like, good job.
Good job. I swear to God, these men are like Vaseline. There's no way they're that perfectly sweaty.
They are Vaseline. I haven't even had a sip of coffee.
Go on.
I just don't even think I need it. Like, I feel like I'm profusely sweating.
How about you take a beat? Stop. You keep drinking the water. Oh my God, it's my least favorite thing to hear is you guzzling water.
There's a climate crisis. How do we uplift people today? I am struggling hard. I saw Katie Morton tweeted yesterday, I think it was yesterday, and she said, I have basically just showered the last 2 days. Like, that's all I've accomplished.
Yeah.
And sometimes that's okay. And I feel like today is one of those days where...
Except we have a lot to do today.
So much to do. We have a sweat session right after this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-mm.
If you're listening to this right now, there's not much to listen to.
Dear God, we will never get a sponsorship if they hear this episode.
I like the point with Facebook. Okay, yeah. So let's lead with that because, yes, it's disheartening to see everyone on Facebook and like what they really think and that you just ignore, but then you go on Facebook and you have to face it. And it's really easy to get into like the spiral of like, which I do, is getting into the spiral of having to say something to everyone who you disagree with. And while it's commendable if you are like smart about it, it's so incredibly exhausting. You know what I mean? Like, I think that those conversations are really important, but...
I feel like you take it upon yourself to, like, save the world. You've been... I feel like the past month you have been just... And I think everybody's been just hyper aware of how messed up so many things are. Mm-hmm. And it's like going from 0 to 100. And I think that's why it feels... Even for the people on the side of like trying to make change, it's just you are so overwhelmed and exhausted because you're like, I didn't realize how messed up the world is and how everyone's thinking is.
Yeah.
And I feel like everyone's true colors are really coming out.
Right.
And you're just like, there is lots of work to do. I've been struggling with, especially people that I know, things that they're saying, and I just feel like I'm just, I guess, worried about like personal relationships too, or like family and friends that I disagree with. I feel like this time is dividing people more than usual. Not that it's bad, but I feel like we are really on opposite sides of the fence more than ever. Yeah. And it's just weird to be on opposite sides of the fence with people that you love in your real life.
Yeah.
Because then you're like, it's just separating your idea of someone from like who they actually are.
Yeah.
It's bizarre.
It is bizarre.
Or like hearing the way people hear you like think. I was talking to my mom and she was like, someone from the hometown just like heard your views and like they said they love you, but they were just like so upset with like your thinking and whatnot. And it's just like how many people have an idea of who they think you are and then they heard you speak now and they think differently of you.
Right. It's weird.
It's a mind trip. I feel like there have been lots of oddly productive conversations on social media, which I feel like usually people aren't listening, but I feel like now people are at least engaging in conversations. Yeah. And it's less, I'm just going to leave this comment and run away. I mean, that's still happening, but I feel like people are actually having discussions, or at least the comments that you do, because I see them. They always pop up my feeds like you, Haley, and then our like high school band teacher.
That guy. Yeah. I mean, it's really hard to leave it alone for me sometimes. When I see something that I think is more than just a disagreement, I just think that it's actually just wrong, which is dangerous because like I'm not always right, but when I see something like blatantly wrong, it's hard for me to be like, just leave it alone, because I feel like by leaving it alone, I'm allowing them to like have their views unchallenged, even when they're absolutely incredibly just offensive and wrong.
I mean, and I guess too, like if all the comments, it's funny because I'll see people that I disagree with so much, and then everyone from like their area commenting in support, and I'm like, in this person's world, everyone thinks that they're right.
Right.
And so that's when I'm like, no, you need to insert yourself.
Yeah, exactly. And that will happen. Just like it happens like on our side of the fence. And I'm sure they think that like, oh my God, I need to insert myself here. Because they're just absolutely wrong. Ugh. Yeah, Facebook's a trip.
Facebook is a trip.
It's really hard to get on
That's
there.
my least favorite place.
Because I mean, I delete people all the time. And like, I purged like 1,000 of my friends. So everyone that's made it this far, like I feel like I know pretty well, and so I'm like
I can't even imagine the task of purging people from Facebook.
It's the best thing you'll ever do.
It seems impossible. Like I have 1,500 Facebook friends or something.
What, Caleb?
I don't know.
I used to, and then now I literally have 400.
Wow. Even so, it's just like, how did I get 400
every day, by the way.
people?
And so, like, when I post something on Facebook and I get, like, 2 likes, like, honestly, it's pretty good.
I feel like Facebook now is just my space to shout things that no one hears.
Yeah, absolutely. That's how it is for everyone.
Sad. What else? I feel like, I don't know if people here get on Twitter. I feel like Twitter is its own kind of toxic.
Oh, my God. Twitter... It's weird because even though Twitter is so toxic, it's where everyone gets their news.
It is. It's where I get my news.
Yeah. So it's kind of like this like weird extremist like
it's so extreme on both sides.
Yeah. It's very extreme. I'm honestly getting more careful about getting my news from Twitter.
Yeah.
Just because I know it is so extreme. And I know that Twitter loves to show me what I know I want to see. And that's dangerous as well for anyone.
Yeah. Being responsible on social media is such an important thing. I just followed, like, during the Black Lives Matter movement, this thing called Diversify Your Feed. It's on Twitter, and I have no idea what it is, but it's somehow, like, I have no idea what it is. But it's like some kind of curated feed, and it'll just like pop up in your feed every now and then, just to throw things in there that would not otherwise be in there.
Cute.
And it's been really nice because it's popped up like something about like Black trans issues or like just other opinions that I wouldn't have heard about, which is good because then it challenges my beliefs. Because I think everyone knows this on social media, but the algorithms put in front of you things that you agree with or respond positively to. So whatever you're seeing isn't going to be the whole picture. You always have to actively seek out the truth.
Yeah.
That's why I was just talking to my mom on the phone the other day.
You should get Beth on the podcast.
I don't want to do that. She was telling me about things her friends were saying at work or like things that she was seeing on Facebook. And I was just like, okay, before you brought that to me, did you go out and like Google it or look it up? And she's like, well, no. And I'm like, you have to, with the internet, do research outside of what you just see.
Right.
Because it's not real or it's so biased.
Right.
And I just think that it's really difficult for people who are used to consuming the news traditionally when it's like sent to your house and you're like, oh, this is the official news from the official paper.
Yeah.
And like Facebook is not that. The internet is not that. You have to be able to decipher.
It's a learned skill. I think it's so crazy when I see things like shared on Facebook or Twitter that people actually believe is real.
Just like the website or the banner or the header, you can tell that it's not.
You can tell that it's not. It's really concerning because like people can just say whatever and people will take it as fact.
And that's how you can manipulate people.
Oh, the masses. Manipulate the masses. Like I mean, even growing up, I thought like news is fact. Mm-hmm. Like, why would you think otherwise? Yeah. How else are you supposed to know what's going on? You don't.
Yeah. It's so scary. That's what the internet's given us is the ability to research truth.
Yeah. That's why I think everything is way more polarized than ever. Mm-hmm. Is because people can actually seek out the truth.
And like, that's what my mom was, the conversation we had, like she was talking about people who are upset about the monuments and she's like, they're taking away history and all of these relics.
Read a book.
And I was like, if sometimes, like, as we have access to the internet and new information, it's good if we adapt. We can't rewrite history, but we can change how we glorify it and celebrate it.
Right.
So, like, if we have erected statues to honor Confederate soldiers, right. And now
we realize that's bad.
Just now we realize it's bad, then let's take them down. Let's be better.
Right.
Like, your history book isn't going to change. Like, that still happened. But why are you, like, putting up a monument? Like, let's put up a monument of Black trans woman Marsha P. Johnson. Or, like, a statue of Britney Spears. It's like, erect a statue. Like, let's remember the good things.
Exactly.
I signed the petition. Did you? To erect a statue of Britney?
I didn't. I was busy signing actual petitions.
I mean, I signed those petitions, too. But there was a petition going around that had over 100,000 signatures.
That's hilarious.
To get all the Confederate statues in Louisiana removed and replaced with statues of Britney Spears because she's from there.
That is so funny.
And she deserves it.
She deserves it. She really does. God, she would be so excited. She'd be so excited.
She would be so grateful. Stop.
So if you know about like YouTube drama right now, there's some drama going down. I'm not going to play into it too much or like give you my thoughts about it, but I think it is interesting in the world of cancel culture and how it's gotten out of hand, in my opinion. And I think most people's opinion. But like I don't see the point.
I thought we moved past this. And then it's just like there's been a resurgence of canceling.
I don't think it ever left. I think that after Jenna Marbles, I think that people are talking about it more because they don't want her to leave.
She canceled herself.
Right, she canceled herself. But now everyone's like, you guys canceled Jenna Marbles. I was like, no, she canceled herself.
If you guys don't know, Jenna Marbles is like a big YouTuber, like 20 million subscribers.
Yeah, like OG.
And she had problematic videos from like 2012-ish. Yeah. She said like that was a bad year for her, but she did, I think was it like a Nicki Minaj thing? No, she did like a Nicki Minaj impression.
Yeah.
But her face was pretty dark from her makeup.
Yeah.
And when she like took the wig off and was still like, she was really tan back then. So I think she said that it wasn't even like, I wasn't even trying to do blackface. I was just like, that was not my foundation shade. I was way too dark. Still, like, it doesn't matter because people saw it the way it was.
Right.
That's what I think was a good takeaway from her. What she said and a lot of other people, it's not so much the intention that matters because, like, we all have good intentions.
Right.
It's the impact it has. And so when there's a negative impact, you have to take accountability even if your intentions were pure.
Right.
Which was nice that she did that. I mean, I guess people were asking her, but it wasn't like a big thing.
Yeah.
But it was just, you could tell she felt so beaten down and so awful. And it's like, even though what she did, I'm not justifying it, and it's not my apology to take. Mm-hmm. But it's just seeing how bad she felt and how horrible of a human being she felt like for something she did 10 years ago was just sad because she didn't want to create. She didn't want to do anything or contribute to the world because she was like, I don't want to put anything out that could ever hurt someone or offend someone. And the fact that back in the day I put something out that I didn't know was going to hurt people, and it did, I think she was just like, doesn't want to put anything out ever again. Yeah. And that's just like not a fun place to be in, because I mean, as a creative, you have to be inspired and happy. And if you're just so worried about, I don't know, it's complicated because you have to be responsible, and you can't put things out that are going to hurt people, but you shouldn't feel like you're banned.
I think that it's a good thing to just like, and I wish that more creators would do this instead of being canceled, just like taking a step back. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like just like rethinking yourself and like allowing yourself like a beat to like really reflect on what got you here. And so I think that calling out people and having them take accountability is great. Yeah. Yes, let's do that. But I think that creators are so quick to fake an apology.
Because, it's like, oh, let me save my business and my career.
It sucks so bad. It's just like, it's really gross.
Yeah, there's no genuine like thoughts or, I mean, not to say there's none, but it's just like, there needs to be room, like you said, to take a step back. Yeah. Think about things, have conversations with people who can help you understand how to be better, because you can't just say sorry, because then you're just going to make the same mistake again.
Right. It's just like, how many times can you say sorry? Like, people can see right through that. Honestly, not saying anything and like giving yourself a beat to like understand like what's really happening is like the best case scenario. And every time I see an apology video, it just looks like you're trying to save face. And like that's how you get canceled. Honestly, most people get canceled after the apology video. Yeah. Like that's the true test is the apology video.
That's what's so scary. Everything's all And it's just so weird how people, like with the Shane Dawson stuff happening. Yeah. And the Tati and James, just to have like texts and voice memos and everything aired out. It's just so weird. Like I was telling you last night, when you're an influencer, you're accountable for everything that you say, like in private to your friends. Like, I think we've all probably had conversations where we're just venting to people and we probably sound awful. And we're like, oh, I hope that never gets out. Yeah. Or like if someone saw that, like I would be embarrassed or ashamed. And I'm not saying it's like good, like you said, just be a good person. But it's just so weird thinking how you are never off when you are in the public eye, because you are responsible for the things that you say, not just publicly, but privately. Yeah. Imagine that. Yeah, that shit is crazy. Just like the people that are, if you're canceling someone, think about every single conversation and thing that you've done or had. Yeah. Whoa.
Yeah, it's not productive. And Allison and I were talking about it yesterday about how like calling out people for their offensive behavior in the past, I think, sure, okay, like call them out, whatever. But like spending your energy looking for those things is so counterproductive to like everything that, like, especially right now that we're like trying to do. I think like it's like the whole thing of like band-aids are making black band-aids. It's like, no, let's actually address the issue. Like, this isn't, that's great, but like you're deflecting. Everyone who's calling out these minuscule things, it's all a deflection from like the actual bigger
and issue. You know what? Like, we're going to transition right back into this. Because something else I was talking to my mom about, because she was like, well, at work, they're saying that now the Black Lives Matter movement just cares about, like, getting the statues taken down or the cartoon characters, like, names changed or all those things. And I was like, no. I was like, if you see my feed, I see Black people tweeting, like, in quote tweets. And, of course, they're not monoliths. They don't speak for everyone. But they're like, I'm pretty sure we just asked for police reform, not for you to recast this character. It's just
like no Black Lives Matter movement person was like, let's pull cops from the station. No, they just decided to do that.
Like this is not Black Lives Matter. This is how people are responding to it. Yeah. And they're being like, oh yeah, no more cop puppy toys. Yeah. No more cop Legos. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. No one asked
like that wasn't
Lego to do that. They just took it upon themselves because like that's how they think that they're contributing.
Right. And it's like, okay, so we have more to learn. I mean, I guess some brands, it's like, what can brands do? Maybe they can donate. They can reallocate resources again, like diversify their hiring. Yeah.
But do that then.
Yeah, do that.
Do that.
Like
that's actually change.
I think John Legend tweeted like an article from TMZ that said realtors in Texas are changing the name of the master bedroom to like the owner's suite.
Weird.
And because I guess there was racial ties, but that's I don't know if that was true. But he said instead of changing the name, how about you fix the problem, which is black people don't get shown all the houses they can afford.
Yeah.
And then I saw, I think Ava, maybe Ava quote tweeted it, and then said, actually, let's hire black realtors.
Yeah. Like that. There's always like there's a bigger issue than a master bedroom or an owner's suite.
To the root. And that's why, so then when people on the right this isn't political. When people that don't understand the movement see that, they're like, oh, now they would just want to change the bedroom suite. It's like
no, it's all deflection.
It's just a way for them to be like, oh yeah, this is dumb, and this confirms that this is dumb.
Yeah,
and it
sucks.
Really sucks.
It sucks with people who are actually trying to like do stuff. That it's all gets clouded and like it's not as interesting. It's not as eye-grabbing.
Yeah. It's like a weird way to gaslight people.
Yeah.
Because then it's like...
They're like, what do you mean? Like, you wanted a Band-Aid changed.
Yeah. So then it's like, Black Lives Matter. And they're like, okay, yeah, here's your Band-Aid change. Shh.
Yeah.
And then you make other people think that that's what their movement's about, to invalidate them.
Right.
While giving in to them. It's gaslighting. Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
I'm coming to terms that I'm understanding it here.
We're talking it out. We're this entire episode. We're just talking
again,
not to,
but it's also not bad because it's like not all of that's intentional. I don't think Band-Aid's like, hey, let's shut the movement up or like make people. They just want to save their face or like.
Right. It's still all very selfish based. I feel.
Impact over intent.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? Something I am really nervous about.
What?
Is going to Florida.
Yeah.
I'm going to Florida on Friday because my great grandma's 99. Mm-hmm. And she has made another trip to Florida because that's her dream before she goes, is another trip to Florida to see my dad who lives there now. And so she got there yesterday, and I called my dad last week and he said my grandma was coming, and Cameron and I aren't going to be going home for the holidays this year.
Why?
Because we're doing a thing at the end of the year.
Oh. People would think it's a wedding.
No, it is a life event, but so we're not gonna go home because we're like, we need to save money. So I was like, why don't I go to Florida to surprise my grandma and spend a week with my dad, because I'm not gonna see my dad either because I was supposed to see him at Christmas. And then like 2 days after I booked my flight ticket, it was like, Florida, center of disease. Massive outbreak. No one cares. And then I was like I was on Philip DeFranco. The literal county that I'm going to was a woman at a town meeting screaming, you can't defeat Jesus. You're not going to make me wear this terrorist mask. And she's like, you can't run from God. And they're all like, literally, like the council's like wearing their mask, like laughing behind their masks. It's just like, people are so stupid. And so that's where I'm going.
Careful, buddy.
And I'm so scared. One, I don't want to get sick because my VO2 max is so low.
No one knows.
We checked on it. I would love to know your guys' VO2 max. If you have an Apple Watch, it's in your cardio fitness under your activity app, because Haley and I's aren't the best. I'm like fair cardio health, and I'm just really confused.
Nice program that you built your life on. Nice program.
It's genetic. Where was I going with this? I don't want to get sick because of my VO2 max, and I don't want to kill my grandma.
Yeah.
That's like the major thing. I can't imagine like giving her like the hug of death.
Yeah. I want to let you know that I'm not touching you when you come back. You're getting tested.
I'm going to get tested. I'm going to quarantine for 14 days.
Quarantine, I think you quarantine for a week, then get tested. And then...
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good.
That's good. That's good. Yeah, Margot she's going to Florida for a bachelorette party at the end of the month, and she's also very, very worried.
Yeah, Cameron's friends just came back from there, and they all got corona.
You're lying.
No, they did.
Oh my God, careful. Yeah. Careful, everyone.
I am going to wear a hazmat suit. It's just like, I told you the other day that in LA County, the exact area where we are has like 3 or 4 times more cases.
Yeah, why? I don't.
Because the dancers don't care.
Yeah.
NoHo is out here.
Yeah.
They're out and about. Because also here it's like they're back to doing dance class and stuff, and it's hard to make money when you can't teach classes. Like that's a lot of dancers' livelihood.
Everyone's really struggling. Yeah.
Yeah. So anyways, I know that you guys come here to be uplifted and to really find the joy in the day, and I'm glad that we can do that.
Meow, meow. It's like coronavirus.
It's the SNL, the Debbie.
Yeah, Debbie Downer.
It's weird, because...
Why?
I don't know why. It's just like, I really want to be happy. It's just, I feel like there's so
really
much
hard
negative
right
stuff.
Now. Yeah.
And it's like, should we do it? Do people want to hear us talk when we're not super like positive and uplifting and joyful?
Yeah.
Or are they like, take a break, take a step back? Like, I don't want to spread negativity. It's just, there are some days that are harder than others, especially when you have 10 drinks the night before. You know what I figured out I learned how to make? Because I was watching... Oh, my gosh. I'm going to skip to the recommendation.
Okay.
But like...
But you want to like go back and forth?
We can go back and forth. This episode is chaos. I was watching Queer Eye.
Yeah.
And that just made me so happy at the new season. If you are struggling to find the joy, go watch Queer Eye on Netflix. It will make you happy.
Yeah.
Or at least take you out of the world and remind you that you can smile and laugh and that good things are happening, or at least happened it probably happened a year ago.
Yeah. It's been a minute, yeah.
But there was a point. Oh, yeah. And so on the episode...
Oh, my God!
On the episode, Anthony made a martini. And it was 4... I never knew what a martini was. It's 4 parts vodka, 1 part vermouth. And vermouth is like 16%. So it's like 4 shots of vodka and a shot of wine.
That makes no sense.
And you shake it up and you drink it. And that's why, like, classy rich people, you see them like drinking martinis. They look so like, oh, you're just having like a martini. They're drinking 5 drinks.
That's insanity.
So I had 2 last night. So it's like I can say, yeah, I had 2 drinks.
Yeah. But you had 10 shots.
Basically. And then 2 glasses of champagne.
So you can see why we're a little down.
It's not that. There's no way it's that. Also, I've been tracking my sleep, and
You've already said that, Caleb.
Get me out. I got last night.
You're in a 10% sleep debt. We heard you.
Last night was the first night that I got 0 deep sleep. I had light sleep all night, but no deep sleep because my heart rate never dropped.
Have I even talked at all this episode?
No, and I'm begging you to. My brakes are out, so.
You look fucking manic over there. You're like hunched over. This is like a cocktails with my ex, but it's sad.
This is a hangover with my ex.
This is such a bad episode.
Oh my gosh. We just want to thank everyone for all your support.
16 episodes.
Yeah, 16.
Isn't that crazy?
That's the number 16, it took for us to 16. Officially run out of things to say. We had about 15 episodes of thoughts in us as people.
Not very deep people at all.
Well, my recommendation for the week is Queer Eye.
Or martinis.
Martinis. Do you have a recommendation besides Game of Thrones?
I was going to say Game of Thrones. Guys, I watched all of Game of Thrones. I've seen it. This is my 3rd time watching it. But I watched it in 2 weeks.
This is your 3rd time watching it?
It's my 3rd time watching it.
How do you rewatch things?
Because I literally do not comprehend a single thing. It was like watching it for the first time. But I enjoyed watching it this time more than any other time I've ever watched it. I feel like I finally understood.
I don't get it.
I feel like I finally understood all of the plot points.
Oh, there is a lot to
digest.
There's
a lot. And so like every time I watch it, there's like a new plot point that I had missed before. And it finally like, I'm like, oh, this all makes more sense.
Interesting.
So I really, really thoroughly enjoyed it. Clearly, I watched it from the time I woke up to the time I went to bed. Even when I worked out, I would watch it.
There's no what that show requires. I've never had a show require so much attention.
Yeah.
Like, you get sucked in, and you do not have the luxury of going to the bathroom or like getting a snack. Like, you will miss major story points.
God, it's such a good show.
It's a great show, but you have to like prepare yourself to give yourself to it.
It hurts.
And it's weird too, just like mythical fantasy war is not my I'm not the demo.
They do it. Game of Thrones is the most popular show in the world.
It's so crazy that it transcends straight men.
Right.
Something made for straight men is actually like good,
right,
and worth watching. It has value.
Yeah, it really is. It's
Haley
so good.
Said yesterday, she said she walked in and she said I walked in and my boyfriend was watching cars go vroom.
I was so fucking mad. I was like, what? The car is going around in a circle. Oh, you know what I said? I was like, I'll get you some Hot Wheels if you want me to. I'll get you a nice track and everything.
It's like, can you imagine just sitting staring at a screen? You said he's like a cat. Just watching a car go vroom, vroom, vroom in a circle. For what? Like, I can understand like vlogs being mindless and like reality shows being mindless, but there is nothing more mindless than watching a car go in a circle.
Because like they're going so fast. It's like you're not even there. You can't even like you don't even know. And honestly, who cares?
Who cares?
Am I crazy?
And you were like, there what? You were like, I was trying to think of any practical life application that this would have.
I was literally in deep thought because I was not about to watch those cars go in a circle. So I was like, I need to think critically.
You're like, how can I get something from this? Because you're like, meanwhile, like you're like walking, like listening to like 16:9.
Yeah, 16:19.
16 by 9. Like, walking, like listening to 16:19 and watching your documentaries, and then you walk in there and it's like.
So dumb.
Oh boy.
I wouldn't choose to be attracted to straight men. Is what this boils down to.
I feel so bad for you.
I
get it. Like, am I attracted to straight men? Yes. But like nothing for like an emotional connection. It would just be to look at on TikTok.
There's this TikTok that is like, we've gone past the point. It's like a viral TikTok. We've gone past the point of needing straight men. Like, we're past it. Like, thank you for your service. You are excused.
Like, gay men we can donate our sperm, and then like women can do what they want with it.
We're past the need for all of that.
We don't. Oh my God, are we radical feminists?
That TikTok, who was like that guy, and he was like, what did he say? He was like, today I like to post, and he was a white man. He was like, I like to post it saying all white men should die. And then he was like, do I believe it? Yeah.
Oh.
Oh my God. Oh, my recommendation. Oh,
your recommendation.
Game of Thrones. Okay.
Game of Thrones. You know what I think we should do?
I can't wait for this to be over.
You know what I think we should do? I think for the next podcast, we should have a theme. And we should like write out talking points. That would be really cool. It's
just one like conscious thought. There's no like beginning, middle, end. It's just one fluid motion of a podcast.
This is a very fluid, non-binary podcast. There is not a single box. I can't wait to see the description that I write for this.
Oh my goodness. Oh, intention for the week.
My intention for the week is to get deep sleep.
How about your intention for the week is to not catch the Rona?
To not catch the Rona.
Yeah.
But mostly to clear my sleep debt.
What do I want out of this week? What's today? Wednesday. What do I want? My birthday's coming up, and no one's going to be here.
No.
So my intention is to find new friends. Anyway, it's my birthday, so...
Swipe up.
Swipe up.
Coffee with my eggs.